Welcome back to Northwestern Outdoors Radio. This portion of the show is sponsored by Westport. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, head over to Westport on the southwest Washington coast for the annual crab races and crab feed on Saturday, or bring your clam guns and shovels to dig razor clams on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday morning. Clamming, crabs, and fun at the beach. It's all waiting for you at Westport, Washington. Find out more at experiencewestport.org. Next, we're going to tell you about a very unique breed of dog you may want to think about for a hunting or family companion. We recorded this interview in Redmond a few weeks ago at a sportsman show, and I think you're going to enjoy the conversation about hunting dogs and show dogs with Jeff and Heather Jennings of Whispering Hills Kennels. Let's go ahead and head to the show floor to tell you all about it. It's time for field reports, and our first one's going to be taking place from the floor of the Central Oregon Sportsman Show in Redmond, Oregon. We're stopping by the Whispering Hills Kennels booth, and Whispering Hills Kennels is owned by Jeff and Heather Jennings, and Heather has got this absolutely beautiful dog. I've never seen anything like it in this booth. Jeff, Heather, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you.
Jeff, tell me about this medium-sized dog. Looks almost a little bit like a fox. Very intelligent-looking animal here. What kind of dog is this?
This is a Nova Scotia duck-tolling retriever, and they have been around for actually hundreds of years. Obviously, they come from Nova Scotia area, but they're fairly new. They were recognized by the American Kennel Club about 10 years ago, so here in the States, they're still pretty rare.
The Nova Scotia tolling dog, I only know a little bit about this, so I'm going to ask you to expand. It's my understanding that these dogs are duck hunting dogs in terms of they go duck hunting with you, but they don't sit in the blind with you. They do something very different that actually helps you get ducks in range.
Right. The name toller obviously means that the dog is able to lure waterfowl from out, say, far out into a river or far out into a lake, and they will actually taunt the ducks and cause the ducks to be interested in what they're doing and draw the ducks in closer to the shore so that they're within the gun range of the hunter. And they are bred to look and be the same size as a fox. You see the white markings on their nose and on their feet and usually on the tip of their tail, and so they look very much like a fox playing on the shore, and for whatever reason, ducks don't seem to be intimidated by that. They get curious, and they will be drawn in closer to see what that fox is doing.
This is just absolutely fascinating to me. Now, here in the Northwest, we're really big on labs, and then occasionally you'll see a golden retriever out there in the duck blind, or maybe a spaniel, but it's mainly a lab show. So a dog like this is really interesting to me. I understand it's going to lure the birds in close to get them within range, but once you drop them, is it going to retrieve them?
This is a retrieving dog, so they work very much the same as Labradors do, or a golden retriever, or a flat coat retriever, and they love the water. She's a very strong swimmer, has no problem with icy water the same way a Labrador retriever does. So they're very much at home in that kind of an environment, hunting in icy water and working with waterfowl.
Now, a lot of hunters out there are not just duck hunters, they're upland bird hunters too. And I look at this dog and I think, boy, this would be perfect for quail or pheasant, maybe even chukar. But I guess I got to ask the question, does it hunt upland birds? And if it does, is it a flusher or a pointer?
They absolutely are very good upland hunters. In fact, the first time I was exposed to one was in a situation where it was an upland scenario, actually at a hunt test, a competition. They train the same way a Labrador retriever trains or a golden retriever. In fact, the AKC tests them under the same test scenarios as the other retriever dogs. So they're very intelligent little dog, lots of energy. They need a job, but they're a lot of fun to work with, and they're very easily trained to quarter a field just like a Labrador or a golden retriever or any of the other breeds that people are more familiar with.
Well, there you go, folks. The Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever, absolutely gorgeous dog, not too big, and it sounds like it may be coming to a duck blind near you. If you want to find out more, contact the folks at Whispering Hills Kennels in Silverton, Oregon. I guess, Jeff, we better talk a little bit more about what you have to offer in terms of services at your kennel.
Thanks. We primarily are a training kennel. The business started out as a hobby years ago and became a profession. Heather and I both have a passion for the dogs. I love working with the dogs. We do all breed obedience training for medium and large breed dogs. A lot of it is just for family dogs. But my real passion, my interest, is in training retriever dogs for hunting and for hunting competition tests.
John Kruse, Northwestern Outdoors Radio. Again, we're talking to Jeff Jennings with Whispering Hills Kennels about dogs and hunting. And a question for you. Your dogs that you breed and that you train them both for show competitions and for hunt competitions. Why don't you break down the differences? What are judges looking for in these two different fields?
In show competition, the easiest way to describe dog shows is the beauty pageant for all different breeds of dogs. And the American Kennel Club, which is the governing club in the United States, has breed standards for every different breed of purebred dog. And the shows are for the judges to compare the dogs to that standard and pick out the dogs that best fit that standard and that most closely conform to the perfect specimen, if there's such a thing.
And when it comes to hunt competitions, why don't you go ahead and break down what the levels are for hunters as dogs and what you're looking for success in those?
In hunt test competition, again, we have a standard at 3 different levels of training advancement, if you will. A hunt test is designed to simulate realistic hunting situation for a dog and a hunter. The judges are looking at teamwork between the dog and the dog's handler. And there is a junior level, which is probably what most avid hunters see in a dog that's working a field. There's a senior level that's more advanced than junior, and then the highest level of performance is the master hunter. A master hunter can take several years to train and as many years to be able to complete that title successfully.
We're broadcasting from the floor of the Central Oregon Sportsman Show. One more question I have for you. I have been told for years that a show dog cannot be a good hunting dog, and when you're looking for a dog, you should avoid a dog that's got show lines and look instead for a dog that's got field trial or hunting lines. Is this a myth or is this true?
It's a great question, and in my opinion, it is very much a myth. Again, there is one standard for any breed of dog. And that standard for a hunting dog, particularly a Labrador Retriever, if we're talking about that, is that the dog is supposed to be able to do all things. It's supposed to have the look, the conformation that's described. It's supposed to have all of the instincts and the temperament and the trainability that allow it to be a good, hard-working, instinctive hunting dog. And so it is, in my opinion, it's a myth that a quality hunting dog can't come from show lines, but the opposite is true, that the whole dog not only conforms to what it is supposed to look like, but also is excellent in the field.
Well, there you go. And if you have any doubts, people, this is radio, but trust me on this, I'm looking at a whole row of ribbons that were won at field trials by the dogs from Whispering Hills Kennels. So let's go ahead and give a phone number and a website so people can find out more about your kennels in Silverton, Oregon.
We are located about 6 miles northeast of Silverton, Oregon. The phone number is 503-873-8243, and I would invite anybody who's got an interest in learning more about it to take a look at our website, which is kennels, KENNELS.com. And there's a lot of information there that would fill you in on us.
All right, the website again is wh-kennels.com, wh-kennels.com, and the phone number one more time, 503-873-8243. That's Whispering Hills Kennels, meeting your gun dog training needs and bringing some really interesting breeds here to the Northwest. Jeff, Heather, thanks for telling us all about it on Northwestern Outdoors Radio.
Thank you very much.
When my husband said he was taking our family to Westport in the off-season, I didn't know what to think, but we had a great time. We started off by eating fresh seafood at a great restaurant. After that, we all went down to the marina to catch crabs and then to the beach to dig up tasty razor clams. Now the kids and their dad are building sandcastles, and as for me, I've put on a wetsuit and I'm going surfing. Woohoo!
Westport, Washington. Fishing, surfing, and fun at the beach. Find out more at experiencewestport.org.